Hey everybody, it's Dana. I have little Wallace here with me, and I was just going to chat with you a little bit, and I hope you can see me. I'm having trouble figuring out what height to put my tripod so that you can see me and see the dog, and then when I get on the floor, everything seems wrong. But anyway, you may remember in the email series that I mentioned about doing an imprint with the dog on essential oils. And the idea behind that is that you don't bring them out. Like, for example, if we're talking about a dog with some stress or over-arousal or nervousness, any of those kind of emotional-based issues, think storm stress as an option. You don't necessarily want to just bring out the oil during an episode, right? You want to try and introduce them to oils at a time when they might have a different state of mind, a calmer state of mind, and use that oil to create a state of mind, to sort of bring them, sort of into a balance. So we don't always have that luxury. Like if we've got a first aid issue going on, we just might need to deal with it. And I want you to realize that if you do bring out an oil at a time when there is some sort of drama or traumatic episode going on, that imprint could easily be associated with the incident. That scent could be associated with the incident, and it could be the opposite response of what you might have thought that oil was intended to do. So I like to start, if I'm working on an emotional issue, I like to let the dogs choose if I can. So I have 4 different oils right now that are all about calming and relaxation. And I usually will just open it and let them sniff the lid, right? You got to be careful for some of them that they don't, so, oh, hey, that smells really delicious. Let me take the lid and try to chew on it. But Wallace seems a little bit interested in, this is Stress Away. I've picked oils from the starter kit, 2 of them and 2 that aren't. And one of the things that I'll share with you guys is I do think you need some variety. I think a lot of people go out and get an oil. They'll buy it at whatever local retailer, and they have an oil or maybe 2 for whatever different purposes, and they overuse them, right? We're all a little bit different. These are not like, good boy. They're not like aspirins, right? They're not like baby aspirins in that it's going to work the same way we sort of expect it to for everybody. People have, and dogs have, choices. They will make a decision. They will be drawn to something more than perhaps a different choice, or perhaps animal to animal might have a preference. So I'm just letting him sort of sniff the caps of, and actually I'm going to put the cap back on because that one, so this was frankincense. The first one was Stress Away. And I smell them just with the bottle open. So I know he smells it with the bottle open. So come here, bud. So this one is Peace and Calming. I've used so much Peace and Calming I have to open a new bottle. Look, Wallace. So he can smell that even though he's that far away, right? I can smell it even though it's right here. Come here. Don't ever force them to smell them. You can offer it and then see what choice they're going to make. So he seems okay with all of these. So these might become a rotation of relaxing oils, calming oils for him. You like that one? What do you think? He seems most interested in that one. And this is vetiver. So vetiver is a very common one to add to sort of nighttime diffuser blends for getting a good night's rest. Now he seems to be interested. He was licking my fingers and not my hand. So let's see if I can get a drop. Some oils are thicker than others. There it comes. It won't drop out of there, Wallace. It's thinking about it. What, is my Vetiver bottle empty? Maybe that's my problem. I think my Vetiver bottle is empty. Come here, Wallace. Yep, we're out. Gotta put that on the order. Come here. Come here. What you think? Let's try this one. Come here, buddy. That's it. Good boy. Good. So I'm just going to add a little piece of calming to him. I like to add this is a gentle oil. I don't feel like I need to diffuse it based on the fact that it's not his first time. Come here. Not his first time with oils. Come here. And he's about 50 pounds, maybe 45 pounds. Come here. What was that? That's Tessa breaking through. Come here. So I'm just going to put one drop right on his little back. Come here. That turned out to be 2 drops. Leave it alone. And when you can give them a massage, you can pet them. You could have put this on your hand and then petted him. Their fur acts like a little wick to draw it in. You could dilute this. Remember, dilutions are taking a drop and mixing with a carrier and then using a percentage of that. If you just add it to a carrier, you're not actually diluting the oil. You are just slowing down the absorption. What is this on your back? From your escape the other night? Yeah, I think that's what we got. So it only takes a drop, maybe 2, depending on what you're working on. We've been working with Wallace on a lot of arousal kind of issues. Food makes him crazy. He gets really excited, gets really silly, jumping and demanding to be given that food. He had been on medication and oils like cannabis oil, and they weren't working. So one of the things that I'll share with you guys, and I see this all the time in a lot of groups, is what oil can I use for my dog's behavioral issue? And I believe there is a lot of opportunity to use oils for animals with behavioral, emotional, anxiety-based issues. But I don't think it's the whole solution. I know since I've added them to my training business, I feel like there are better results when I pair the 2 pieces together. But I really want the dog to figure out how to cope, figure out how to manage, figure out how to de-stress themselves. And so a lot of what has to happen with him is new experiences, right? Giving him something different to do, having a different experience than he has previously encountered, and a lot of repetition that goes with that. And then a lot of physical exercise, right? We're trying to drain off energy. And essential oils are not going to drain out energy. They may help you open up and be prepared to receive. They may help you be prepared to let go. But there's more to the equation than just oil. So when you're looking at people in some of these groups and they're like, my dog is whatever kind of crazy or whatever kind of stressed, what oil can I use? I think you have to pair that with an action. You have to pair that with helping the dog embrace their breed instincts and things of that nature. So anyway, imprint your oils. If you're working on, if you're not working on any issue in particular and you don't need like to go with some sort of emotional support issue or grounding or stress relief or any of that kind of stuff, then just pick one from your starter kit and introduce one oil a day. See how your dog responds to it. Maybe diffuse it for 10 or 15 minutes, see how they respond to that, and just build your way through the introduction of whatever oils you have in your collection. Not all oils are appropriate to be applied topically. Most of them are, but certainly not all are appropriate to be ingested. And we're not talking about ingesting oils with our animals yet. We will one day, especially if we're trying to address any sort of things like inflammation in the body or digestive issues. There are a lot of opportunities for internal consumption. See, this is why I don't like Facebook Live, is I start talking about things and I ramble. So imprint your oils, and I'll pick another topic and we'll come back later.